Hi everyone! So today I have a sponsored video from Tonic Studios for their new stamp club. It is called Good Times Ahead, and with their stamp club it's always a photopolymer stamp set and some dies to go along with it. So they did send these items free of charge from my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I'll have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. As you know, I get samples, so yours will be packaged very differently with a carrier sheet. Usually comes in a pocket and all those kinds of fun things, so you can just pop it right into one of your binders if you like. So, just super sweet. Let me see if I can get something behind this. There we go. So as you can see, we have this sweet little wreaths and like all kinds of little accent stamps, the word love, sending good vibes, you know, good times ahead. These are separate stamps there. Cute little rainbow with little hearts, a little sunrise, or sunset, I suppose, depending on how you want to use that. The cute little sun with the rainbow and cloud, and look at this little guy. I'm so happy, I was gonna say, but that stamp is actually separate, so you can pop it in there and pop it in there, maybe put it here, wherever you want to use that little face. Little sprigs, flowers, stay strong, you're amazing, little arrow, like just all kinds of fun accent things, little florals, a floral heart wreath, and like a cute little separate flower, you're doing great. All kinds of fun things, again, good times ahead. And the die set that goes with it. Excuse me. And this is really cool because I don't know if you can see, like, okay, like this wreath here, that was that floral, the heart wreath. This part is separate, so let's say you just want to cut out the whole image, or maybe you want it to be like a little framed wreath. You can also use the inner portion, so you can cut it out in that way. That's really cool. Same thing with the circular wreath. We have like the little banner. I love these kinds of dies. They're so like versatile for literally everything. All these different little words, like stay strong possibly, or the love, hello, hugs can fit in here. It's like a little speech bubble, that little heart. Look at this shape. Oh, I love it. That's, you know, for some of the maybe the larger stamps or words, or maybe even this guy, the little rainbow. You have one for the rainbow. It even has like little edging for the little hearts. How cute is that? So some little hearts, the flowers, the sprigs, all these other items, you know, the little sun, which is really cute because I love the way it goes in and out. It's not just like a big circle for it. And then the little center, if you want to do like the face separately, or use that in this one. I mean, there's just lots of ways to use all these different shapes. So cute. So what I'm going to do is grab some paper and inks and all that fun stuff, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so when I saw that little sun with little face, I was like, I want to try that out today. And we can do, you know, stamping on white paper, coloring, but I think what I'm going to do is start off with colored paper already, and I think that'll be really fun. So I have a standard A2 size card here that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I have a couple colors and for my little sun, and I was gonna look for a background paper that was like kind of like rainbows and things like this, but I saw this paper and I thought, oh, that would be so cool. I think the contrast of the white with the black dots and then my little orange and yellow sun would be really sweet. So I'm going to cut this down 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. If you don't like working at 8s, you can do 4 by 5 1/4, or just mat the whole thing 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, or whatever it is that you like to do. So I'm going to trim this down and I'll be right back. And as I cut that in, actually this little piece on the back has yellow stripes. Maybe we can incorporate that. We'll see. It all coordinates really in a cute way. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this down, and then we'll do some stamping and some die cutting, and it'll just be really simply done. And just because using colored papers does not mean that you can't put some accent colors on it. You can definitely still use alcohol ink markers, depending on the paper, maybe some water-based markers to give a little more detail too. But for now, what I'm going to do is grab some ink. I'll be right back. So for the little face thing, I'm going to go with the lighter color. All I'm going to do is stamp the face. And then we'll die cut that. Look how cute. Perfect. And then I'll probably put the other one in the stamp position just in case, because it does have a little more detail. I want to make sure that I get everything stamped, so I'll use this guy. And I'm just going to grab a stamp position. I'll be right back. So I have my paper in place. So I'm just going to stamp our little sun here. And I'm just going to make this like a focal point of the whole card. And that's why I have that streamer paper. You might be wondering why I have party streamer stuff. We're going to make like a little rosette behind it. That'll just help it pop also. That looks great. Okay. Let me clean up and I'll be right back. Before I cut these out again, you know, you can come in with some of your alcohol ink markers or whatever you might want to use. And let me see what color this is. A little too bright. Let me go through and find one that's a little deeper. Cute. And maybe I'll just add a little extra color in here. Just kind of blend it out. A little bit lighter. Let's see this one. There we go. Just give me a little extra color. And then we have, and again, that's VersaFine ink, because I'm being very careful with this since I did not use a ink that will stay, you know. Let's see, and then around this little guy, maybe we want to add a little bit of color. And I'm going to die cut this, but for now I'm just pretending like if I had some color on this where it might be. And when I die cut it, hopefully it'll just catch that. And that's just adding a little something extra. Okay, so we're going to take our dies. And I believe this is symmetrical. I'm trying to see if there's any one area that pokes out more than another. Yeah, as you can see, I'm lining it up and it's not completely lining up, so I'm going to keep playing with it until I see the little lines in every single spot. And when I find that, I'll be right back and maybe I'll give you a tip. There it is. Well, there it is. Okay. So I just kind of moved it around until I found the right spot on that one. It does look like it's a little bit ovalish in some area instead of round, you know. So that might be a way for you to find that spot quicker. And then my little son, just like that. Oh my goodness, it looks like he has little bangs with the color I used there. And so let's just put that there. And I'll run both of these guys through and I'll be right back. Just real quick, we have our little die cuts. I might add a little more color on him because it just caught the very edge there. And look at that. I love it. I love the way it just cuts all in there. They even have the die for the little sun rising. But yeah, let me add a little more ink on this one and I'll be right back. Card base. We have our cute little sun, his little face. And then we're just going to make like a little kind of rosette for behind there. And a lot of times I roll them in a way that it's like half the thickness of like a streamer, but I don't know if that's going to be big enough to cover that whole back. So we'll just make it a little bit big, and then if we have to trim it down, we'll trim it down. And I usually take about a foot of this kind of stuff for this. And all I'm going to do is hold it here, and maybe I'll even do a couple of them just to give it a little extra. But when you do it, okay, you're going to pinch, you're just holding it, right? Pinch, kind of ruffle, 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 and once you get to a spot where it's too much for you to hold it while you're still turning it, make sure you're holding the center and then just keep turning. Okay, so I kind of readjust. And honestly, that was probably a little much, but you know what? I'm just going to keep going because why not? Something like that, and then of course we line them up. And then I'll take a little stapler, and hopefully this will be big enough to hold. We're looking for that center to hold it. There we go. And just a couple of staples. And I'm going to do that one more time and see if I can get another nice ruffle, and then I can see, you know, how big it is. We can also use circle die cuts to make it smaller, or just leave it that fluffy if you like. But I'm going to make one more. I'll be right back. And they came out quite different because, again, I mean, they're handmade. I think what I'm going to do is run them through with a circle die just to make them a little bit smaller. When you do that, they do flatten out, but you can also puff them back up. So I'll probably just run them through with a circle die that's, you know, let's see, maybe like a 2.5 inch die or something, and I'll be right back. So actually what I did was I just used a scallop circle, and I used one that's a little bit smaller and one that's a little bit larger, and so we have like a radiating look, which I think is really sweet. And I think we can start, go ahead and glue these pieces down. So I'm just going to have, again, a nice center point. And I'm just gluing in the center, that way that this little portion still has a little bit of ruffle to it. Put a good amount of glue on this one. I'm gonna let that set up for just a second. I'll be right back. So it's all settled in there, and then, you know, we can pop these guys up. You know, pop this one up and this one up. I like kind of low profile dimension, so I think I'm gonna stick this down and then pop that little guy up with some not super high dimensionals. So let's actually go ahead and stick this one down first. And I'm just gonna, again, just in the center. Oh, you know what? I have like a shadow here. I think I'm gonna put that up towards the top. And then I'll get some small dimensionals on the back of this little face and take the carriers off and all that, and I will be right back. All right, now I have our little face, and you know, we can put it just straight like this, but why not make it look like he's looking a little bit that way? So there's my little face in the center. Again, not super thick, but there's a lot of texture here. Then I had that little strip, and I actually cut it down a little bit because one of these stripes was a little bit wider than the other, so I thought, well, if I'm going to use it, I want it to be a little more something like this. And then I was thinking maybe even making a ruffle out of this, but that's okay. We're just gonna make it like a little band that goes across. And again, that was just an offcut from the paper when I cut it down. It's just the other side of the paper. And I think we can do like a hello card. We can do hugs. I mean, little love, because I want to use, I think, this little guy here. Nope. And I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and stamp, let's say hello. Just a sweet hello card on some white paper. Just looking for a scrap of white paper that I can grab. Set aside for right now. And I think for a pop of color, I'm going to cut a pink heart. So we have that heart that in the set there. And I'm just going to make sure this is nice and inked up. Looks good. And that's our little hybrid ink there. So I'm gonna just eyeball this, and I think that looks pretty centered, right? Looks good. Tape that down. I'll run that through, and then I'm also just gonna run through the heart from like some pink paper. And I'll be right back. Here's our little banner. I love this die. Absolutely love it. And then a little heart, just a heart shape from the dies there. And let's bring this guy back, and if I put this here and move this little heart in the background and then our little hello. Oh, I love that. So cute. So yeah, let's go ahead and glue that down. I'll probably pop up the hello, so let's go ahead and just glue this guy down. And I would say this is probably about a 1/2 inch strip piece of paper or so. Just going straight across here. I guess we can see if that's straight. There we go. And then, I mean, this can go anywhere. Yeah, let's put it over here. And let me get some dimensionals on this, and I'll be right back. So here's our sweet card. I love how crisp and clean with the colors and the little pops of orange. That little pop of pink with the heart, I think, is really just finishes it off. A sweet little card, everyday card. Thank you so much, Tonic, for sponsoring this video, for sending these items for review. I'll have images coming up, guys. I'll have the links in the description box. And I mean, that is so cute and fresh. I love it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.